Are you aware of the horrific torture methods that have been inflicted upon women throughout history? Some of these methods will give you chills just thinking about them. Spanish donkey. The Spanish donkey is a medieval torture device used to punish women accused of witchcraft, adultery, or other crimes. It is a wooden device shaped like a triangular horse with a sharp edge. The woman would be forced to sit on top of the device with her legs spread apart, and weights would be attached to her feet, causing excruciating pain and potentially even death. Breast ripper. The breast ripper was a torture device used primarily on women accused of adultery, heresy, or witchcraft. It was a metal tool consisting of 4 sharp claws that were heated before being applied to the breasts of the victim. The claws would be slowly tightened, causing intense pain and sometimes even ripping the breast off the victim. Scold's bridle. The scold's bridle, also known as the brank or the gossip's bridle, was a device used to punish women accused of being too talkative or spreading rumors. The device was a metal mask that covered the woman's face with a protruding tongue depressor that prevented her from speaking. The device would often be worn in public as a form of humiliation. Cutting women in half with a chainsaw. In the medieval ages, hanging women upside down and sawing them in half at the genitals was a cheap and easy way to inflict maximum suffering. All you needed was a strong pair of biceps and a lack of morals. Convicted witches, adulterers, and blasphemers were the usual targets. PEAR of anguish. The PEAR of anguish, also known as the PEAR d'angoisse, was a torture device used to punish women accused of adultery or other sexual crimes. It was a pear-shaped metal instrument that would be inserted into the vagina, anus, or mouth and then expanded using a screw mechanism, causing extreme pain and potentially even death. Burning witches. This punishment was a form of execution used during the witch trials in the Middle Ages and the early modern period. Women accused of witchcraft were tied to a stake and burned alive in public. The belief was that witches had made a pact with the devil and could perform magic, and their execution was meant to rid the community of evil spirits. Stoning to death. This punishment involves throwing stones at a person until they die. Women were often stoned to death for adultery or other perceived violations of Islamic or cultural laws in some societies. Republican marriage. This punishment was used during the French Revolution as a way to punish women who were accused of being counter-revolutionaries. The women were forced to marry a man who was considered a good citizen or a patriot, and the marriage was often used as a way to monitor her behavior. The iron chair. This punishment involves a person being strapped to a chair made of iron spikes which pierce through their flesh. The pain is intense, and the victim may be left to die slowly. The iron chair was a form of punishment used in Europe during the Middle Ages. Catherine's wheel. This punishment involves a person being tied to a large wheel and then being beaten or crushed with a club or hammer. The Catherine's wheel was a form of punishment used in medieval Europe for women accused of adultery or other crimes. Foot binding. This was a practice in China where young girls' feet were bound tightly with a cloth to prevent them from growing. The practice was done to make women's feet appear small and delicate, which was seen as a sign of beauty and status. However, foot binding resulted in permanent deformity and disability for many women. Female circumcision, also known as female genital mutilation, FGM. It is a practice where the female genitalia are cut, injured, or removed for non-medical reasons. FGM is often performed on young girls and women in some cultures as a way to control their sexuality, maintain family honor, or prepare them for marriage. The practice can cause severe physical and psychological harm to women and has been widely condemned by human rights organizations.
There are things that Islam says have to be done. Cutting nails, cutting the clitoris, and cutting pubic hair.